very grateful to Venerable Master Jing and the staff of the Pureland College for inviting me here to talk about an interesting topic, the scientific research in reincarnation. Reincarnation is not my research field, so what I have learned in this area is still very limited. Yet, the purpose of my presentation is to trigger our thinking and discussion of this very important life phenomenon. If there is any error and mistake in my presentation, I wish you could kindly point it out. I would greatly appreciate your criticisms. Many people have some fear of disasters and death. Fear comes from lack of knowledge and understanding of the truth of life. When we know where we come from before birth and where we are going after death, our fear of death will naturally disappear. So, do we reincarnate? I'm keen to learn about life, death, and reincarnation. I have attempted to search for some articles and books published in this area and have collected some research findings that have demonstrated the existence of reincarnation. To my amazement, I found that this area had been investigated quite thoroughly in the past 4 decades in the United States and some advanced countries. The phenomenon of reincarnation becomes a remarkably interesting area in today's medical science. Without this search, I never anticipated such a fruitful achievement in the area of reincarnation research. Reincarnation as a scientific subject belongs to the field of psychiatry. Hundreds of research articles and books have been published on this subject. Many famous psychiatrists have done this area. It is impossible to touch all angles of this emerging academic area within my 1-hour talk. Thus, I would like to share with you several renowned scholars' research findings in reincarnation. First, Dr. Rick Brown, the Vice President of the International Regression Therapy Association and a famous American psychotherapist. Second, Dr. Ian Stevenson, Professor of Psychiatry, University of Virginia, United States. And finally, Dr. Brian Weiss, the famous psychotherapist in the United States. I would like to talk about their findings in order. Hope that you will find them interesting. First of all, Dr. Rick Brown. Dr. Rick Brown is the Vice President of the International Regression Therapy Association and a distinguished American psychotherapist. He published an article entitled "The Reincarnation of James" in the June 1990 of the Journal of Regression Therapy. The article documents the details of an American salesman's past life memory. In this case, Bruce Kelly, a sales representative for a men's furnishing company, was required to travel extensively. However, he was terrified of flying. His fear was of being in a closed place where he had no control. When the airplane's door was closed, terror overwhelmed him. Bruce suffered another phobia, fear of water. The water fears him to the extent that he even feared the water in the bathtub. Bruce had a chest pain that had bothered him for much of his adult life. Several doctors, after examining him, had found no cause for the pain and concluded that it was idiopathic. That means it was all in his mind. Dr. Brown decided to hypnotize him. Hypnosis is an effective tool to help a patient remember long-forgotten incidents. There is nothing mysterious about it. It is just a state of focused concentration. Under the instruction of a trained hypnotist, the patient's body relaxes, causing the memory to sharpen. The patient is able to properly think and talk in the hypnotic trance. In hypnosis, Mr. Kelly had a clear and vivid recall of his past life as James, a crew member aboard an American submarine. On 11th February 1942, the dock on which James Edward Johnston was a crew member was deep charged and sunk by the Japanese destroyer Amasukaze. All crew members, including James, drowned. The spirit that occupied the body of James appeared to have reincarnated again on the 19th of January 1953 in the body of Bruce Kelly. Dr. Brown instructed Bruce to recall the happening of the day of his death in his past life. The patient recalled that on the 11th of February 1942, the U.S. submarine Shark was submerged in the Manila Bay, which was the home of Asiatic Fleet. He spoke in the hypnotic trance. "I'm not on duty and just relaxing in the vessel. Suddenly, the vessel gets hit by a deep charge. The ship is shaken and temporarily goes black. It is a Japanese destroyer that attacked us. I'm confused and scared.